So there's a medrash that says the following. It says that when barzel, iron, was created, the trees began to tremble because they were scared that with the iron, axes would be formed, which would chop down the trees. So they began to tremble. So iron, barzel, said to the trees, without the wood of your hand to create the handle, there will never be an axe to chop us down. And what the Medrash is communicating is that in life, in general, only a small amount of things are dependent on what others do to us. Most of life is dependent how we react. You can't knock down the tree unless the tree participates in creating the axe that will knock it down. It goes so far, by the way, because we're days before Yom Kippur, it goes so far as the Reb Nachman of Breslov quotes a beautiful thought from the Baal Shem Tov that goes as follows. It says in Pirkei Avos, Akavya ben Malal Leimer, Histalkel b'shloisha dvarim, ve'ena taba l'dei avera. 3 things reflect on and you will never sin. Where you come from, where you're going, and the third one is L'fnei mi ata osid litin din b'cheshbon. Before whom are you going to have din and cheshbon? In other words, we're going to be brought before Hashem, and He's going to judge us. So there's din. Din is actually the ruling, the judgment. Cheshbon is the deliberation before the ruling. So the Reb Nachman of Breslov asked, he said, that's out of order. It should have said cheshbon and then din. First there'll be a deliberation, and then there'll be the ruling. Why does the Mishnah say it in this order? And he explains as follows, that before Hashem, how does Hashem judge somebody? Based upon how we judge other people. That's how Hashem judges us. So Hashem creates a scenario, and He places it in front of us, and we're all very judgmental. We think about, this one was right, and this one was wrong. Hashem says, okay, you were in that exact same situation, and therefore I'm going to rule that you're wrong, and the other person was right. So before Hashem judges us, we judge ourselves. So even how we're going to be judged by Hashem is actually dependent on us. And that's why the order, din and then cheshbon. We're the ones who judge others, and then Hashem takes that into the deliberation, and He ultimately rules on our Mirz Hashem. He grants us all a chsima and a gemar chsima tova. Why do I tell this to you? Because it's an important thing to know in general about life. That ultimately, everything is determined by how we react to things that happen or to people with whom we interact. That's ultimately how life works and how judgment works. But really what I want to speak about today is not how do we debate other people and try to influence other people about the war in Gaza, now the war in Lebanon, and how do we defend anti-Semitism. That may be something that we can talk about as well. But really, ultimately, what's important for us is to be clear on our own where we stand. How do we understand these ideas of war? How do we understand what's going on, what happened on October 7th, and what changed after October 7th? And I think just one point to make, I think that from before October 7th to after October 7th, the way Jews view the world around them, the anti-Semitism, our enemies, and etc., this in of itself is what changed and has Baruch Hashem led to a dramatic change to the results on the ground in Eretz Yisrael.